And a very pleasant good morning to you on WLPW-FM, the voice of the Olympics here in Lake Placid, New York. Temperature is 22 degrees on this Tuesday morning, the 13th of February, 1980. Yours truly, Dennis Ryan, sitting in with you on this momentous day. A lot of people have waited a long time for this, the opening day of the 13th Olympic Winter Games here in Lake Placid.
Going to the Olympic Village?
Weatherman says partly cloudy throughout the day. Temperatures will be in the mid-20s. Probability of precipitation, 10% today, 20% tonight and tomorrow. No major accumulation of snow is expected. However, the word from all the venues is that artificial snow is in full progress. And as far as the ski jumps are concerned, we know for a fact they're all set to go. Whiteface Mountain is all set, ready to go.
Thank you.
Of course, Mount Van Hovenberg at the bobsled illusion is fully refrigerated top to bottom. Speed skating oval, same thing, fully refrigerated, all set, ready to go. The only problem may be at Mount Van Hovenberg, the site of the cross-country ski races and the biathlon. However, they've been working 24 hours a day, round the clock, making mountains, and we mean mountains of man-made snow just for this occasion. Stand by for action, folks, because here we go.
Gerald Lynas, a 38-year-old New York City artist, has been commissioned by the Lake Placid Olympic Organizing Committee to create snow and ice sculpture as a decorative background for village welcoming ceremonies, and to provide an opportunity for residents to interact in the creative process.
Chiseled it smooth as glass on the
With Mr. Lynas are sculpture students Greg Rudd and Deborah Homer, who have volunteered to help with this unusual project, an assignment which has been in the planning stages for 7 months. Very much honored by his invitation, Mr. Lynas, a faculty member of Pratt Institute and successful freelance art director, set aside 5 weeks to live in Lake Placid. But today, the resident sculptor is facing Olympic-sized problems.
When I got to the village, I was very disappointed that there was no snow for the sculpture. After all, the Fine Arts Committee had emphasized that this year, art was to be given a more significant role in the Games. I had conceived a piece which I felt would live up to that. I called the organizing committee to see if we could get just a little bit of the machine-made snow that was being stockpiled, but was told in effect that we were out of luck. I was not about to give up that easily. We called everyone we thought might be able to help us get some snow. The town mayor, the highway department, even the village maintenance crew.
During the following week, they managed to get 3 truckloads. But the material, some of which had been scraped from the speed skating rink, was in no condition for sculpting. The artist then decided to make the modest pile appear larger by hollowing, quadrupling its surface area.
It wasn't much, but we tried to make the best of it, although I knew it would be nearly impossible to create a piece worthy of the Olympics with the material we had. During the day, when the athletes were out practicing or competing, the bleak and deserted scene made me think of the compound's future as a penitentiary. Every time I looked at the sculpture, I fought off my frustration at the snowless weather and the committee's lack of concern for the project. I really felt committed to their stated objective to elevate art to its traditionally important role in the Games. And then I learned that the village superintendent was planning to bulldoze the sculpture if I didn't clean it up and make it more presentable.
Whoa. You all right? I'll be right up.
We were trying every technique we could devise, pulverizing, making slush, building with large chunks, but it was very slow going.
Yeah.
By late afternoon, when the athletes returned, the village came alive. At times, I felt that this international community was the center of the universe. But the disco made me feel as if I were back in Manhattan. Everyone seemed to be enjoying themselves, and I really wished that they could have a beautiful and interesting piece of sculpture to enjoy as well. But at this point, it was a mere fantasy. After 15 frustrating days came the break we had been waiting for. One of our many phone calls had been to the superintendent of highways for the town of North Elba. Independent of the Olympic Committee, he had agreed to allow 3 of his drivers to deliver surplus machine-made snow to the village. For us, it was like striking gold. We created many windows by freezing water in the barrels. These translucent details attracted people to the interior of the sculpture.
There's a gallery inside. It's kind of interesting. In fact, it's a surprise inside.
The inside had a magical character all of its own.
Is this where Jack Frost is in prison?
I like coming in here and seeing what's developed since the last time I came in. It's, as I say, it's always changed. It's sort of kaleidoscopic. Reminds me of when I used to go caving back home. You know, you get the feeling that you're the first one to come in, no matter how many more might be there. It's sort of primordial.
The candles changed the sculpture from an igloo to a cathedral. Part of my original assignment was to encourage active participation in the creative process with the residents of the village, including the athletes. The Romanian bobsledder didn't speak to anyone. He concentrated on his piece, his competition apparently finished.
It's meant to be something.
The north wind.
Ja!
Blåser.
Munnen!
Just han blåser. Nordavind och blåser.
Could you do that for me again? Can I see your mouth?
Gör det.
Again. Now hold it.
Konstnär.
I was really touched by the people who actually helped us. The sculpture was no longer just ours. It had become everyone's.
Jerry Lynas returned home to his family 2 days before the end of the games, symbolically closing the eyes of the north wind. He said that the sculpture should not witness the vandalism and thievery which began to surface as the Olympic Village emptied. By the time the last athlete had left, the north wind had already begun its natural deterioration. Perhaps the water which made the snow could have once fallen as rain on Mount Olympus.